Get beautiful natural light with the light depth tool is our topic today on Luminar Coffee Break. Let's see what we can accomplish in 10 minutes or less, starting now. All right, everyone. So by now you heard about the big fall update. Great tools, great features. You have the ecosystem, new light depth tool, which I'll talk about, and photo restoration. That photo restoration, looking into our Facebook group, watching what everybody has been doing with that tool and sharing family memories. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see what's going to happen around the holiday season when a lot of you take your old family photos that were back in the 50s or the 40s, and some of them were in the 1800s. And I loved how you restored them and made them look amazing. I can't wait to see what you're going to do around the holidays to give to your family and friends. Well, today's episode was because of the comments on our Facebook group. Everyone was looking into the light depth tool. They were boasting about it. They thought it was amazing. So I want to go a little bit deeper into it. All right. So here we are. Let's do before and after. Here's the original. And this is what we're going to turn it into. And all I did here, by the way, was I took the original image, created a virtual copy for me to work on it. And again, the virtual copy doesn't add another image. It just has a reference where that image is. All right. Well, first of all, the image looks good, but just like all raw photos, it needs to be processed. You can either come in to the develop tool, just click on auto adjust, let it do its thing, and it'll do a good job, a very good, look at that. It did a very good job. I am going to tone down the exposure a little bit because we're going to add more light to it. And the highlights are fine. Now I'm going to enrich the black tones just a touch. All right, there we go. So we're off to a good start. All right, minor change. And you could also do the same thing by just, look at this, going through your camera, your camera profile. Now, since this isn't my camera, the profile here is for a Sony, I believe it is. It's going to give me the Sony profiles. And look at this. The portrait looks good. Standard, vivid. I'm just going to leave it with Luminar Neo, the Luminar default. So now that I developed it, now let's come down to the creative tools like that. Here we are. I'll give it an arbitrary amount for now. All right. Now, here's where the magic happens. Look at this. In fact, you know what? Let me go to an extreme so you can see it. Look at this. So right here, I can dictate where that light is going to fall into the scene. Let's say I want it right about there. I'll dial it back a bit. Now, what's even neater is, look at these. We have handles on the top. So I can elongate it here. I could bring it down from this point here. I could adjust it. So here is where the critical eye, where your eye comes in. And you just move the light depth where you like it. Right about there looks good. Now, softness is going to show how it blends into the shadows. You know, how smooth it goes into the shadows. And you can actually see the depth now, what it's doing here. So look at this, before, after, already it's doing great. Now, if you're wondering, where did the relight tool went? This is an evolution of the light tool, the relight tool. And what we did was we kept it right here under the advanced settings. So if you don't see it, make sure you click on advanced settings. And now you have the same options you did with the relight, but with all of this light depth up here. So here we are again. This is near what's closest to the camera. And I'm going to bump up the warmth of it. And by the way, I'm going to take the golden tones a little bit more on the top part. And then for far, watch this. I could add more light, or I could take light away. So I'm going to bring it down right about there. And again, just give it more of a golden tone. All right. So let's see if it makes a difference. Ready? Before, look at this. After, it helped me with the light, or with adding more light to it, but it also added the color tone that I wanted. Now, let's say I don't want it in the water. Mask AI. I'm going to let AI find what's in the scene. Well, it found the water, mountains, natural ground, and so on. Well, let's do this. I'm going to click water. Now, that effect is being applied just to the water area, well, I can invert it. And now it's being applied everywhere but the water. Now, you could have done it too with the mountains. If you wanted it to focus on the mountains itself, I like to go through and see which part it takes. And then, like the water, for example, did a phenomenal job masking the water, then just invert it. I want everything but the water. Now that we have this set, this is where your creativity can shine. Also in our Facebook group, I forgot who it was talking about how the magical tool, mystical rather, he loves adding the mystical tool to a lot of his landscapes. And you know what? That was one of those tools that I had to admit, I kind of forgot about. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I love what it does to it. I love how it's adding that extra warmth and glow to the image. And speaking of glow, let's come to the glow tool and let's do the Orton effect. Just a little. This is way too much. So we'll go just a touch right about there. Let's see. Yeah, nice. And again, you can come in here. Let's take the brightness. I can make it brighter, or I can make it a little bit darker, a little contrast, more warmth. Let's see. Subtle change. Not drastic, but just enough. I think that mystical tool really did a huge help for us. And there it is. Now, I'd probably want to crop just a little bit more, like right in here. Just enough. I do want the rocks to be in the foreground, but maybe not as predominant. Maybe something like this. All right? So let's look at before and after. Ready? Here we are. We started with this. And then, using the light depth along with a few of the other tools, we gave a nice finished product. One more time. Look at that. I just love what that tool does. Now, also part of the group, they were talking about, well, how can you batch process your images? So let me take this image here, for example, and we'll do the same thing. I'll do it real quick. We'll come in. I'm going to just start with the light depth, just show the power of it. There it is. A little softness. I'm going to bring it up a little. I want the light to come from the top, right about there. I wish I took this shot. Ryan, great job. Right about there. A little more golden. What's near to the camera, I do want to just make it darker. What's farthest away, let's bring a little bit more light. Right here we are, before, after. Now, at this point, let's say we do come in and we'll apply something else. Let's say enhance. All right, there we go. All right, it helped out. All right, now that I have it set, right click, adjustments, copy adjustments. So this is the quick way of doing it. If you know you're going to always use these settings, now you would save it as a preset. So you can just come right over here, File, Save as a preset, and let's just call this light depth. So put relight now. Here we go. Light depth. We'll do that. Let's give it a moment. All right. So light depth plus, we'll call it. All right. So now that I have that set, there's several ways I can apply the batch processing. All right. Well, now that's already done to this image. I already set it for this particular image. Well, all I need to do now is I'll select this one. Let's go to this one. Right click, adjustment, paste adjustment. Now, when I hit paste, those settings I just did will be applied to all of those images. That's one way of doing it. Now, let's do this. Select all, and I'm going to revert it. So let's go adjustments, revert to original. Now they're all back set to the original. Let's say a week later you come back to this and you say, you know, I really liked what I did with my preset. You come into your preset, and then once you get to the preset tool, let's get to it. There's our light plus. Look, it did it automatically for me. Let it apply, and then you can decide if you want to do 100% or dial it back a bit. I'm going to leave it at 100%. just for the sake of showing you this. And give it a second. There it is. Then do the same concept. Right click, adjustments. Now, this is where I think it threw a lot of people off. That adjustments doesn't say batch processing. All right. So maybe I'll talk to the team and see what we can do. Like copy adjustments makes sense, but maybe adjustments, batch processing. I'm not quite sure what we could do here, but just know that the adjustments is the batch processing. So I copied it. Once again, select all of them. Now, as long as this is highlighted, I could just come to the adjustments and say synchronize. So it'll synchronize to whatever that gold tone is. It'll adjust all the images based on what's there. If I don't have the original selected, then just say paste adjustments, because you saw that we copied and we put it there. So a couple things to know about that with the, when you're working with batch processing, do the common denominator. What would make the general images look really good? Then create your preset or batch process. Then for quality control, then go back to your other images and maybe you tweak them and you move things around. But don't do masking and don't do anything that requires you to manually select something into the image. Because once you start doing that, and you start creating it, then it's going to copy it. If you add layers or anything that you don't want in those other images, they're also going to be applied. So start with the common denominator. What makes this image look good overall? Then apply it to every one of them, and then make your final adjustments. All right? So I hope that helped. The light depth tool, absolutely amazing. And while I got you here, that restore tool, I'm just floored with what we've been doing. This is what I sent to my family. So these are our family restoration. Actually, it was this one right here. Let's see if that's the one. Yep. So here are some of my cousin Bernadine sent these. And look at this. This image here of my grandmother. I'll open it. I haven't even seen this image. My brother took it from an image that he has sitting on his nightstand, his TV stand, took a picture of it, sent it to me, and this is what I did with it. I can't wait to see what you guys are doing and creating with that special tool. All right? So now if you're here, please stick around for the Ask Me Anything segment. For everyone else, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next coffee break.